when I said the title, The Wall, a lot of people in here, or at least a few of you, probably thought of Donald Trump. Am I right? So that's not the wall I'm talking about. But the wall, this speech, I was thinking about it, constantly hearing about the wall. You're constantly hearing because of politics these days. You're constantly hearing it. And I started thinking about it when I first got here. What wall do we build? Now, the wall that Donald Trump is talking about is a barrier that we're putting between another nation and ourselves. But the wall I'm talking about does not actually exist in real life. It exists up here. We all build a wall between everyone in our lives, even objects. It's an imaginary barrier that we put between me and someone else, even my mother, even my dog. Just some kind of barrier that sometimes we can't even see past. We always try and ignore what they say based on what they're like, what they say, or what they even look like. But when I came to this school, or before matriculation, I was building up my wall for the cadre. I'm pretty sure all the knobs here know that that wall doesn't really work. It's not that big. Because when someone's this close to your face screaming at you for doing something really small, that wall is broken down pretty quick. But what do you see behind that wall? If you have a high wall up here, you're not really paying attention to that person. You're not connecting with that person. I made in my first speech is that to learn a lot about other people and to actually get respect for those people, you have to go out and reach out to them. You need to connect to them. You need to be personal with them. If I build a high wall with someone else, how am I actually going to learn about what their life was? How am I going to ever make friends? How am I ever going to know if that person could help me out later in life? There's no way. I might hear something differently. I might choose what to hear from them. I see them differently than I should. I'm going to have a prejudice, and that's going to get us nowhere in life. So when I build a wall between someone else and myself, you have to try and break that down. You have to lower it, because that way you can actually open up and see what they're really like. And you can truly understand who they are. Then you can make the decision if that person's a nice person or a good person, or if you want to be friends with them or not. Now, there is a certain level to where you can break it down. I cannot go to my upperclassmen today and have no wall. There is a wall that I have to keep up, and there's a wall that they have to keep up with me and them. But you have to understand that if I'm going to be sitting here at attention, bracing in battalion, and I have too much of a wall, I'm not going to hear what they're telling me to do, and I'm going to do something wrong, and then I'm in trouble. And then if I have too low of one, then we see it as gaudy, and I'm going to break the fourth class system, and I'm not really going to be respected after rec day. So there's a lot I've learned from the Citadel, and there's a lot I've learned from being with people in real life. There's a lot of things that we hear from other people that aren't necessarily exactly what they want us to hear. If I pay attention to another group only when I want to, or only hear what I want to hear because the media is giving me what they're all about, and not actually going out there myself to talk to them, I'm only getting a perspective from someone else. And that's the wall I built in between them, is me, the media, and then them. So why would you judge them before you even get to talk to them, or even if you see them? I saw a video not too long ago of the riot in Charlotte. Everyone else knows probably what that was all about. But this man, he walked up to a police officer and he gave him a hug. The whole riot's going on. You wouldn't really expect someone from that movement to go up and give a police officer who's got riot gear on and tear gas all around his belt to give him a hug. But that police officer and that man didn't have that wall. They were opening up. They wanted to understand each other. And that one hug was a symbol of greatness. You got to move past all that, and you created peace. Instead of breaking stores down and burning buildings or burning cars. Because without that barrier, there's a solution to the problem. Nowadays, being a Democrat and Republican, it's like choosing your side to a war. It's like another civil war that's going on. For are killing each other. People are beating each other up, breaking bottles over their heads just because they believe in a different political system. But if there's one thing you have to learn, is that make sure that wall is just right. If you get in a group of people, sometimes those people will build the wall for you. And you're never going to actually be able to go out there because of peer pressure. But make sure that that wall does not get too high. Don't make it too low when it's unnecessary.